Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about experts. Present, Master Shimashou. This is the 7th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muda ni suru wa yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you to become a better speaker, to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, and 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 353, and today we're talking about being too expert can be a problem when presenting. How much is too much? For the expert, the boundaries on this equation can be quite broad. For them, we're only tapping into the very superficial elements of this worthy subject. They have so many layers at their disposal, and they can go to exquisite depths of complexity and nuance within a heartbeat. When they are addressing the great unwashed, the best laid plans can go astray. I was one of the great unwashed, turning up to a complex subject in search of some better understanding and education on the topic. The expert's temptation is to try to cram as much material as possible into the talk and show both their tremendous expertise, but also the depths of the beauty of the topic. They are at the art end of the scale, while the punters in the room are more at the utilitarian end. The bombardment of the depth of materials can cause brain whiteout, as our cerebral capacities are severely challenged by the concepts, the data, and the complexity of the delivery. Concentration spans take a hiding, and we start to fade. That was happening to me. We all turned up at night time after completing hard toil down at the salt mines. So as a group, we were already mentally taxed. Naturally, a complex topic attracts experts in the field who want to attend the talk to steal from the presenter's materials or concepts and to gauge how big a threat they are as a competitor. This emboldens the presenter to turn on the expertise faucet and to go deep on the subject to justify why they are the ones standing up in front of everyone and presenting, and not one of these other experts in the crowd. Tonight's expert also made the typical mistake of pounding us with slides, which were packed to the gunnels with information. We are talking beautiful slides, but so dense. If we were in the front row, you had a shot at being able to read the detail, but anyone else would have been struggling because of the density and small font sizes being employed. He also needed, like a lot of experts, to break his own slide into 3 or 4 slides. Slides are free. by the way, so we don't have to be parsimonious about the usage. It is better to have one idea per slide than lots of slides with too many ideas on each individual slide. Having complex configurations rarely works because the scale of the font and the micro detail has to become too small to fit it all in. Yes, he kindly supplied the slides after the event, but as a presenter, this is too late. We have to deliver our message in that moment with that crowd and get to them then and there. Find out more. We come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also are doing custom in-house programs. We do them in both Japanese and English. We do them in our super safe classroom and live online. Our show today is being brought to you by, on the 29th of August, we'll be doing Step Up to Leadership. It's a one-day program. And on the 30th of August, we'll be doing storytelling, an absolutely critical skill for everyone in business. Go to our website at www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have nearly 2,000 there for you on Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show on Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. And on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from small and medium enterprises all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro TV show. Get my best-selling books on business in Japan, the Bible on selling, Japan Sales Mastery, Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Torein de okane wo muru ni sume wa yamemashou, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. He made the mistake of suggesting we could stop him whenever we wanted to during his talk. I don't recommend this because you can so easily lose control of the time because there are now no limits. When you have a presentation followed by the Q&A, there is a time allocated for the latter for a reason. When we mix it up, we are in danger of being distracted from our message or having to spend too much time on a relatively minor point to satisfy the questioner. There's also a free-for-all with who can ask questions, and suddenly you get into a group debate about a point. This is very exciting, but it destroys your time allocation for the presentation, and like him, race through the last 10 to 15% of the slides to finish on time. One thing he did very well was to come across as an expert without being a pain and a know-it-all. He could phrase certain things which said, I believe this to be true based on my current knowledge and experience, but I could be mistaken. It's quite artful because he's making himself a small target. When you come across as, I'm the expert here, then you invite people to want to prove otherwise and bring your ego down a peg or two. He did a good job being the legitimate expert and creating no enemies in the room. As I have stated many times, it is always a good practice to get the list of who is coming to gauge how expert the crowd will be, and also to get there early to suss out the interests of various people in the room. Actually, he didn't do either of those, judging by his late arrival and his high-level approach in presenting his information. I believe in these cases, you can demonstrate sufficient expertise to convince the room you know your stuff without having to beat everyone into submission with a relenting death by PowerPoint performance. He could have shown less and had just as successful a presentation. Less is more, as we say, and a Handy thing to remember if you are ever asked to give a presentation as an expert. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.